Hi, this is Joe again with another review. And for the sake of this video, it marks two very important things, at least in my life anyway. This week marks my father's 80th birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. And the other one is, on the same day as my father's birthday, will mark the 40th anniversary of the original release of the original Star Wars movie. Both happen to be on the same date, May 25th. So, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing. I've already discussed all the movies, every single Star Wars film. So, look them up if you haven't seen on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen them. And I've also, I'm not gonna beat those movies to death, but I'm going to be discussing actually a documentary from the Star Wars fan base, which is called "The People vs. George Lucas." And this documentary is on YouTube, so you can check them out. At least the one that I saw was in English, but it had I think Spanish subtitles. So on the bottom of the screen, there was some that was dubbed in Spanish or other different languages and bits and pieces of it. So you have to really look for the right one so you can really understand this. Well, The People vs. George Lucas is like I said, it's a documentary by the Star Wars fan geeks out there. I consider myself a Star Wars fan, but I'm not. Don't camp out when the prequels came out. Don't camp out in front of the movie theaters for like weeks on end, or get dressed up in the costumes and run around with lightsabers and stuff like that. But this documentary is actually about people who are like diehard Star Wars fans who were upset over not only the prequels but also the special edition versions of Star Wars that came out 20 years ago in 1997. And of course they were taking out George Lucas for keep tweaking the the Star Wars movies. And of course when it came out in the prequels, people were crapping all over them. So that's pretty much the premise of this documentary. And I was saying this out, and nothing was all that bad of a documentary, but this diehard Star Wars fans really go over the top. I mean, I understand that the nitpicking, because it is. I mean, I nitpick on some of the movies myself in my reviews. Of course, most notably, of course, the bit with when the special edition versions of the original trilogy came out, and like I said, 20 years ago, in 1997. There was one major tweak, especially for the original Star Wars film. Lucas tweaked more in that film than some of the other ones, but the other ones weren't clear of criticism. Of course, the biggest criticism of the original movie when it came out in special edition version '97 was the scene in the cantina, which Greedo shoots at Han Solo first, and then Han Solo shoots and kills Greedo. Of course, we all know that in the original version of the original Star Wars film, Greedo never shot Han Solo. He never even fired his gun in that famous scene. Harrison Ford shot Greedo and killed him. He just took his pistol out of his holster and shot Greedo one shot, and killed him at close range. Of course, the criticism is, how can Greedo miss Han Solo? Of course, if you look, he does this. Swings his head like that, and he misses him, and then this when Han Solo fired. The reason why George Lucas did that, my eyes bothering me here for a minute, so let me. Okay. The reason why George Lucas did that is because of the fact that he did not want to change Harrison Ford's persona, or at least Han Solo's persona. Oh, sorry about that. That is because Han Solo, he became a very popular character, especially towards the end of the movie, and of course by the second one. And of course, Harrison Ford became more popular by the Indiana Jones movie franchise. So Lucas says, "Oh, since he's a popular guy now, I'm going to change it so Han Solo will be such a badass." And that's why he did that. Make Greedo shoot first, and then make Han Solo shoots his head. I don't know how the hell ship Tom Solo's head because his head never moved. Harrison Ford's head never moved during the in that scene until after he kills Greedo. So of course there was a pretty good chunk of this documentary to focus on that particular sequence. I'm surprised they didn't really focus on the other two movies with the remakes and special edition versions because they add more stuff. You see more of the ice creature that captured Luke and had him hanging upside down in the cave. We actually physically see him, and you see when his arm was chopped off by Luke. You physically see his body without the one arm there. You also see improved special effects with the Cloud City and stuff like that. It's nice that they didn't really focus on these Die Hard Star Wars fans didn't focus on that, but they did focus on the annoying fix of the band in Return of the Jedi, in Jabba's past. They did focus on that sequence because it was annoying, especially the guy going like ah, like that to the screen like that. They did focus on that, but of course, when the prequels came out, people focused on the prequels, and they took footage from the documentary Empire of Dreams. So maybe I should do a review on that, a separate review on that. That George Lucas wanted to finish the whole saga. Now, originally, the reason why it didn't focus on this document or any of the documentaries really, but that I have seen in Star Wars. But the one real reason that Lucas gave an interview, and he said the reason why you have episodes 4, 5, and 6 with the first 3 movies that came out was because it was a much easier story, much simpler story. Because in the earlier films, if you start from episode 1, you have all this political stuff in it, how the Galactic Senate worked, how the Giant Council worked, and all that stuff that you've seen in the prequels. Lucas originally had all that stuff in there. So how the Jedi treated Anakin and how Anakin grew to disdain the Jedi, and all that before he had the eventually we call it a heel turn, and went to the dark side. He had Lucas originally had all that stuff in there, and he believed that the story. The people wouldn't like the story, and the movies wouldn't be all that successful. So, but for episodes 4, 5, and 6, he thought it was a much easier story and a follow simply thing. Of course, in the People vs. George Lucas documentary, they focused on all the inaccuracies with the storyline, how he did the prequels without messing up. He did mess up the continuity, especially the bit with C-3PO. How come C-3PO doesn't remember? And Obi-Wan Kenobi, or how come Obi-Wan R2-D2 or C-3PO, what are you doing here? Doesn't say anything to R2. So hey R2, how you doing after all these years? Or say anything to C-3PO. Doesn't acknowledge that he knew them that Obi-Wan knew them in the prequels. Or of course, at the end of episode 3, C-3PO's mind was wiped. And that's how they got out of, because people were complaining, how come C-3PO doesn't know who Obi-Wan Kenobi is in episode 4? Well, they wrote that scene in there where Jimmy Smith says, have the particle droid's mind wiped. Mind you, doesn't have the R2's mind wiped, which is funny too. He does it for C-3PO, but not R2-D2, which kind of makes sense. Have both droids' minds wiped, memory wiped. Not only focus on C-3PO, but R2-D2 also never tells C-3PO, hey, I knew Obi-Wan before. I know years ago. R2-D2 never brings it. Well, true, R2-D2 doesn't speak the way I do. He does beeps and whistles and all kind of sound effects. So of course they focus on that. I'm talking about the real nitpicking of the prequels and everything. Pick on. I suppose they didn't really pick on Jake Lloyd. They did pick on Jar Jar Binks, being an annoying character. There's this one scene on Tatooine, and Jar Jar Binks steps in shit. He literally steps in shit, and so, ew, icky goo, stuff like that. And of course, adults like me or my age, who grew up with the original movies, thought that Jar Jar Binks was an annoying character. And we were kids who, I'm talking about people who are less than 10 years old, who saw the Phantom Menace in 1999, like the Jar Jar Binks character was funny and goofy and all that stuff. But to anybody else who's like above a certain age, thinks that Jar Jar Binks was an annoying character. He was stupid. He was annoying. Ahmed Best, who voiced the character, he used a really annoying, irritating voice for the character, and they focus on that. They focus on also episode 2 with the love story. A little bit, of course, the dialogue. Because George Lucas is not known for being very good at writing dialogue for movies. So he, all the lousy dialogue that's in there. Of course, not many people, and also many people crapped on so much in episode 2. There's one guy who was interviewing the documentary said I was not interested. I never seen episode 3 version of Seth, and not interested in seeing it because of the lousy way that Lucas did episode 2, because now all of a sudden he's such a big shot. He does everything himself: the writing, the directing, the approving every little facet and detail. But for me, I always too told nitpicking and everything else and like that. And I understand the criticism. I made the same criticism myself when I did the movie reviews of the movies. But it's still fun to watch. As maybe annoying as you probably think some of the dialogue is, or Jar Jar Binks is. That's why Jar Jar Binks, and we did bring up, and they didn't really touch on that much, but the hatred for Jar Jar Binks for the Phantom Menace was unbelievable. I remember one website, it didn't have it on the documentary, but there's one particular website that says Jar Jar Binks must die.com. I mean, you're making death threats on a fictional digital character, and it was a digital character. It was made up by computer. Even though the person had Ahmed Best, who, like I said earlier, knowing he voiced the character, he had to wear some clothing and walk in and out of these scenes so that the actors could have someone to work off of for dialogue and the scenes and everything. So Ahmed Best was physically in those scenes, but they digitally took him out and put the Jar Jar Binks character in there. And there was an actual website saying Jar Jar Binks must die.com. I mean, that's really taking it over the top. I mean, like I just said, he was an annoying character with an with an annoying voice, but to make up websites to have the character killed, I mean, it's really, it's kind of really taking the movies way too seriously. Like I said, I was a fan of the movies. I went to see all of them. Episode 7 was the only one I actually missed when it came out of the movie theaters. But I've seen every single one. I have all of them in my DVD or VHS collections. Watch them all the time. And it feels annoying, but I don't want to, kill the character off or kill the person playing the part. I mean, it's really overdoing it. And the person or persons who made that website should be embarrassed for themselves right now. Because, like I said, taking the movies way too seriously. Especially people who were camped out for weeks or months on end, maybe for the next Star Wars movie to come out, especially during the prequels movies. I thought it was ridiculous. It was like 2 people in Seattle camped out about 6 months and found a local movie theater for I think it was episode 2. I think it was for an episode 2 came out, and the 2 idiots didn't even sit next to each other. Which made it stupid. But for the films, I think the films, many people are not as bad as people say. I mean, they start to grow on you after a while if you watch it more than one time. But it's not anything all that bad. But for the movies, it always comes fond memories for me. Because I collected the original action figures. I still have my collection of them. But for some reason, I never bought the action figures for the prequels. When the prequels start coming out, because when the action figures for the original movies started coming out like in 70, I think more than 78 because it was like delayed and everything. You didn't realize Star Wars would be a big hit, so they had so I collected all the action figures. I still don't have all the action figures for the original movies, but on the original figure set from Kenner. But I'm not getting off topic, but bring up my memories of it. But it was easier to get the action figures back then than it is now. Now you have to go to find your local Toys R Us. But for me, when the action figures started coming out, it was like Woolworths. There's no more Woolworths anymore. There's another local store, a discount store that also had Star Wars figures. They were selling them. There was a Genevieve's drugstore chain that had them. There was another local electronics store that had a toy department named Stevens, which is not in New York, which is in New York City only. They went out, so it's not easier to get the figures back then. Now you have to go find a Toys R Us, and they had just recently closed a big store in 34th Street, Manhattan. So it's a little bit harder to go find a Toys R Us and buy the figures, and the figures are not as cheap. It used to be cheaper. You can get like 3 or 4 figures for like $12, $12 or $13 at most. Now it's like you spend that much, you maybe get 2 figures, maybe for that much, for $13 or $14, maybe today. That's how expensive the figures are. But one thing they didn't like, that they did correct, was in '97, 20 years ago, on the 20th anniversary, they re-released all the action figures. Or Kenner did, and they even made figures they never made before. For some reason, they certain figures they didn't make before, or for the original Kenner set. One of them was Princess Leia in a slave girl outfit from Return of the Jedi. I immediately got that one because it was great. It was great to get that one, and I showed my mother, look, I got one with Princess Leia in the slave girl outfit. She goes, wow, But my mother did. And I got one Princess Leia figure, the one where she's in the outfit on the ice planet Hoth, and not the Princess Leia figure. But I have a few with Han Solo. Every Han Solo figure I have, but not all of the Luke Skywalker ones, but most of the Luke Skywalker ones I have, and I have all the Bounty Hunter ones. I have all the Ewoks. I actually have the Ewok figures. I used to buy the training cards, but actually the training cards, they didn't really come out with a big deal of that in the People vs. George Lucas documentary. But I thought it was kind of fun to watch that thing, just because of the fact that it was a real geek boy thing, and how seriously the Star Wars fans take this stuff. And it's like these people are worse. I mean, people make fun of Star Trek fans. These real diehard Star Wars fans make the Star Trek fans look good. And I also happen to be a Star Trek fan as well. That's why I'm still single. But okay, aside, they make the Star Trek fans look good. I mean, that's how crazy they are, and how much they nitpick all the movies. And I'm watching this documentary, and some of these people only got a life. Seriously, they should get a life. But the people for this, if you want to see a real fanboy documentary for Star Wars films on the 40th anniversary of the original release of the original film, check out The People vs. George Lucas. So that's my review of this documentary. Please click on the video, please rate it. Feel free to comment on it. Please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video onto your Facebook pages. You can check out all my videos on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. It's all WDY, and that's C.com. There's a homepage and Rally Reviewer, Christine Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. And, of course, may the Force be with you.